Hello and welcome to the Unofficial Controller podcast. It's me, RGT, back again and joined by, I don't know how many more compliments I can give this man, the Switch legend, the YouTube legend. It is Marathon Gaming, aka Scott. How you doing, buddy?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. You don't have to hype me up at all.
Oh, I do. Oh, I do. You deserve all the praise, my man. You deserve all the praise.
Oh, I'll take it while I can get it. But yeah, excited to be here. Episode 254. It's going to be a big one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I mean, last week we done the Switch 2. We done our little reveal of that. If you haven't listened to that, go back in the back catalogue, have a quick listen to that because that seemed to have been a popular episode and people have been enjoying that. And obviously, Switch 2's hot off the press at the minute, which we'll have a bit more news about the Switch 2 in our little news article. Also, I have got to jump into an apology. I've been a bad boy, Scott. I've been a bad boy.
Well, 10 lashings from Longhorn or Stingray. Who would you rather have?
Oh, can I have 20?
Oh, 20.
No, serious note. We do our subscriber list nearly every week, and I've missed someone off, so I have to apologise. It is C Knox, our friend from Sweden. I am very, very sorry.
How dare you, RGT?
Yes, I read
our
the list
very
up
own Cnox. Yeah, our very own.
I don't know. I counted the list and thought I'd had them on, and I hadn't. So my apologies. You are now on the list, as you'll hear later on. If there's anything we can do for you, let me know. If you want a fridge magnet or a little bit of wall art or a poster when the new artwork comes out, let me know and I'll ping something over to you. But I do apologise. Your support is always welcome, as is everyone. So
hold on. We send in free stuff if we forget someone's name. This could be dangerous.
We'll forget yours. You keep forgetting yours each week, though.
It's going to run us out of business.
But let's. How's your week been so far, then, Scott?
Yeah, it's been very good on the gaming front. It's been sort of taken up from this Fall Guys, obviously. By the time people,
been a bit like that.
Yeah, by the time this episode, people listen to this show, will be on the remaining 24 hours or the last counted hours of the challenge accepted in our Discord group, put on by a lovely Digital Monkery. So it's Fall Guys competition. Who can get the most crowns on solo campaign? But I tell you what, it's been very, very hard. And I could tell there was sort of a bit of sense in the Discord with Digital Monkery himself thinking, have I made this challenge too hard? Not many people couldn't even formulate a high scoreboard because no one could get any crowns other than yourself at first. Then they started trickling in a little bit, but I said, look, I'm enjoying this probably more than the other challenges because it's so fun. Even when you fail, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's frustrating, but I've really enjoyed it. And then the other night, I literally came home from work, and then I think it was before we went swimming or something like that. I literally came home from work and thought I'd play one quick game. I had 5 minutes, and then bang, fresh brain, fresh eyes, and I did it. Got the crown. I could not believe it. And it was one of those end games where you have to run and physically grab it. It wasn't like last to fall off. It was a proper assault course and a race. And the irony of it, I was the third to the crown, and there was only 4 of us. It was last 4, I think. I was a third to the crown, so I had no chance. But they just panicked. They weren't calm. One of them overshot the edge. The other one, he must have felt me right behind him, and he jumped up, and he wasn't there. I was like, oh. So I had all the time in. It reminded me of the gladiators. You know, when people get to the travelator, they've used all their energy, and rather than take a second to breathe, compose themselves, they try just to go up there, then they fall, and then the other person catches them up. It was like a tortoise and a hare. It really was.
Well, as we're talking about what we've been doing, let's jump into it then, Scott, and say, other than Fall Guys, what have you been playing?
That has been 90%. There is another game which I have been playing a little bit, which I probably forgot to mention on our previous show on the Switch 2. And guys, yes, if you want some more Switch 2 rumours and news and gossip, stick around. We've got a few juicy stories about the Switch 2. So we've got some more releases, so stick around for that. But yeah, in terms of what I've been playing, there's a game called Toy Soldiers. I don't think I've mentioned it. I saw it from, I guess on YouTube. I can't remember who it was that showed it. It's a game that's been out for quite a while. I've got it on Nintendo Switch. I've got it physical. It's a tower defense game. I don't mind a bit of that. And it's basically World War One battle scenes done accurately enough to a story, but obviously more exaggerated, like films and stuff and games are. So they recreate certain battles, and I guess how they get away with it is because you've got toy soldiers. So there's no blood. The toy soldiers break or they explode. It's plastic, and that way they're able to go through and recreate these scenes and these moments, and you replay certain battles. It's really, really good. So you upgrade all your different like tanks. You've got little army infantry. You can control the sniper. You can take control of each of the actual tower defenses, and it gets progressively hard. There's all sorts of different weapons. It does get, there's gases and all sorts. There's planes, different artillery. It's actually a really, really solid game. And I'd hate to say it early doors, but do you know what? This might be one future for RGT's hidden gems, because it
Really?
is. Yeah, it's nice to have a tower defense game which is a bit more than a 5 minute mobile game.
That's
I've
true.
you know I did the first 2 or 3 levels very easily, and then it got very hard. Took me a few goes, had to go away, but I wanted to come back to it. And now I'm on one that's very, very difficult. Um, and yeah, it's very, very good. It seems like quite a beefy game, nice campaign, good story. I think you can play online as well with your friends. So, like, me and you could be either ends of the board, and we could take in turns attacking each other's bases. So basically, you're defending your toy box. So once so many percentage of soldiers get past your army into your toy box, you're defeated. So all you're trying to do is protect it. But it's really, really well done how they recreate the battle scenes, and because it's World War One, it's quite cool because some of the infantry and stuff you see, you haven't seen unless you watch old documentaries. So it's pretty cool, actually.
Well,
Nice
sounds
little
good. Sounds
historic.
interesting. That you say it's
Yeah,
on Switch,
yeah, it's on Switch. I'm
eShop, or
sure I've got it physical, but it will be on eShop. I've got it physical for about £20, which I think is why I did it.
it's not a lot nowadays, is it?
Yeah, yeah. I'll try and have a look in a minute while we're chatting. I'll see how much it is on eShop in case anyone is interested. Other than that, I've just been playing a lot of Mafia Definitive Edition, but I've got to a point now where I'm quite far in. I think I'm near end game, and it's getting a bit stuck. But I tell you what, the story is so good. Only thing I'm upset, the story is so good. Sometimes I pause the game, right? Because I need to take in all this story. I love it. It's like being in a film. And then I pause it. I need to go to the kitchen, get a cup of tea, go toilet, whatever it is. I come back, and it's annoying with the Xbox controller. Rather than press like the normal button A or whatever it is to go in, it skips. Because I'm used to being on a Switch, then Xbox, then the button
Yeah.
orientations. So I've skipped a couple of crucial moments where there's been some serious,
Oh
you
no! Can
know,
you YouTube it and watch them? Or
yeah, I'm going to, because I've
yeah.
missed some serious build up of story. I'm like, someone's double crossed the stake here. I need to know
Mm.
what's going on. But I've been absolutely loving that. I really, really want to finish it. I don't finish a lot of games because I'm such a bad gamer, but I really, really do want to finish that so I can move on to another game. Um,
But proves how good, how
but
well written that game is when you think
oh mate,
originally came out on the PS2, original
yeah.
Xbox. I mean, it's a game that's aged very well. I know it's a remastered version,
Is
but
there
even so,
just
this
three or is there four? Because I've heard there's another one coming out later this year. I don't know if it's a fifth or the fourth.
yeah, the original two were older games,
Yeah.
and then they done the third one on the last gen.
But they
Um,
actually remastered all three apparently, even though
yeah, they did.
the
Yeah,
third
yeah,
one's only 6 years old or whatever it
yeah,
is. They actually
yeah,
remastered it.
yeah. But yeah, good games,
Mate,
and
they're phenomenal. Yeah, really, really enjoy it. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much me all wrapped up really in terms of what I've been gaming with this week. So what about you, RGT? What have you been playing?
well, Fall Guys.
Yeah, yeah,
I
mate.
keep
It
having
is.
it. I keep
It's
getting back from
so
work.
good.
Yeah,
It's so fun.
I mean, I played this when that first came out. Got a few crowns, and then that sort of,
Yeah, yeah,
the novelty wore off.
yeah,
But Digital Mind Green, he always, pulls bangers out of the hat every month for our
yeah,
challenge
yeah, yeah.
accepted. And when he first said Fall Guys, I sort of thought, don't know if I'll have a go at that. And then I did fire it up when not many people were doing it, and I thought, oh well, I'll have a go and try and get
Oh,
something
I
on the
loved
board.
it. Yeah,
Now I'm trying every day, even if I only got 10 minutes before I go out again. Get back from work, chuck it on,
yeah.
Oh, and the other day, honestly, Scott, the other day, right? I'd had one go, went out first round, second go, first round, third go, got the final. Thought I was going to do it. Fourth go, got to the final, and absolutely, I was nearly first every time on each level. I was breezing it, got to the final, and I was running up the left hand side for the one where you have to run up and jump to the crown.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's what
there was
I won on, I think.
there was another bean on the right, and you could just see if it was first person, you'd have been keep glancing across at each other. That was like
Yeah.
slow mo. We
Photo
both
finish.
we both dived exactly the same time. It was like no, and literally they must have got there half a second before me. Their hand just touched
Oh,
that
mate.
crane. I thought I'd done it. I thought I'd done it. I thought,
You have your favourites though, don't you? You do have your
yeah,
favourite games, ones you don't like, ones you think are easy and you're quite good
yeah,
at.
yeah,
Some of them I think are almost too easy. There's one where you count the fruit and
yeah,
then it comes up the number. No one seems to like I reckon they'll remove that soon. No one
yeah,
seems to go on that. And then what was the other one? So sometimes it's almost like they're broken. There's one where there's like a balance board and it's a platform. They
yeah,
move left and right. Now
yeah,
you have to have so many beans on there to tip the
yeah,
scale. So someone's got to fall off. It got to a point. This was the very first game, right? It's a common first or second game. That one. Typically, if you haven't played Fall Guys, after 3 or 4 games, you're in the final. But sometimes it's 6, sometimes
yeah,
it's 2. It can
yeah.
be early. Anyway, it's a first game, and 4 or 5 people qualified, and no one else did. I was one of the ones who couldn't qualify. There was nothing we could have done. It was just stuck, and like everyone was just jumping, dying,
Oh
rinse,
no.
repeat. And I even tried to like some of us were sacrificing. You could see everyone was like, huddling together. Right, if we do this, you can get across, and it still didn't work. So some people went from the first round to the bloody final. So
That's
oh
mad,
mate,
isn't it?
what a game! I'm still excited talking about it. So I'm really excited you
The
play it
only
more. If
one
you're
I
playing it,
hate is that slime slope where you have to run up and get up to
mate,
the top.
same. That's the only one I find
I
really difficult.
hate
And
that. I've
the
never finished
hoverboard
it.
one as well. The hoverboard one that
Mm,
keeps moving. That's
mm.
annoying. But some of the end games, like the tentacle, I don't know if I finished that one either, actually, as you
Oh, I've
said
never
that,
got
the
up there.
slime one.
No, I've never done that. That's
Maybe
tough.
that's one where not enough people have gone out on the second round. So then they're like,
Mm,
right, we need to make a call. Because some of them are so difficult.
mm.
Um, yeah, I'm out. I could talk about it all day, the spinning
Yeah,
levels.
brilliant
But
gaming.
anyone who hasn't played it, your time to play it is now. It's a free game. You don't need to bother with any. I've played over 20 hours, haven't done any microtransactions. You don't
Nope,
need to
nothing.
buy the
All free.
outfits. You can
No,
just
no,
play
no.
it. You can earn outfits as well.
Yeah,
I've
it's all
got a
free.
one that I've earned just from points. And it's a good time to jump on it because it's good laugh. And you might even be able to get on the scoreboard and you might even win a prize.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, why
Exactly.
not? Absolutely awesome.
Um, I've done one more level of Trine 5, so I've got one more to go on there now. So I'm
Oh,
maybe
well
this
done.
week get that done. Yeah, I've been a bit tight for time this week. So I haven't played as much as I wanted, but I thought I've got to get on and get that done. I can move on. So I played a bit of that. And I thought rather than get halfway through a level and forget, I'll stop it at that level. So then I just got the end, sort of bit of the end level, end game to go. So yeah, but still really enjoying that. Can't wait to see the end game of that. And I jumped on the Stanley Parable as it was part of the PlayStation Plus this month. Always heard things about this. I don't know if you've heard of it. Have you, Scott?
I haven't, RGT. No, what is that?
The Stanley Parable. It's a bit of a sort of a cult PC game, really.
Stanley.
I think originally, yeah,
Oh.
and it's one of them really weird, sort of trippy stories with a narrator, and it's I don't know if it's their sort of version of having to go at the top
Oh,
dogs.
Stanley Parable. I thought you meant
Yeah,
Powerball. I thought it
no,
was like one of those,
that's the accent.
like, yeah, I thought it was like one of those NFL sort of spin-off games, like
Yeah,
on the
no,
NES era.
a parable. Yeah, but yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's and there was one bit that made me think because I mean it is weird. You can complete this game in minutes if you want. I mean I think I completed it in the first run in about half an hour. It's
Really?
basically yeah, it's really weird. You just literally it gives you a story of Stanley. You're Stanley. You sit at a computer. They tell you what button to press, and he presses the button. Just basically just saying that we're all pawns in a big game sort of thing. And then one day he's at work and everyone's disappeared. So you have to keep going through these doors as a narrator talks to you and get to the end game and escape the building, get out into the real world, right? Um, and there's
That sounds
obviously
really interesting.
it is it's something that if you've got a couple of hours on a Saturday night, you've got a couple of beers, sit down, you can get through this, get it done. And this is so quick once you get through it. I thought I'm gonna play and see if I can get the platinum because I saw Ginge got the platinum on Discord. I thought I'll have a go at the platinum, but they almost take the Mickey out of you in the trophies that you're trying to get for the story, and they almost carry it on because obviously this sort of tongue-in-cheek stories basically saying that, we're all pawns in a big game. Like I said, the big men are
Yeah.
telling you just do what you're told. Well, in this, the trophy is, right, the first trophy, I thought, right, it says, go on, knock on door 415 5 times. I was like, okay, that's an easy trophy. Went up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They went, do it 10 times. Oh,
Ah,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Perfect. That's
Do it
genius.
20 times. Anyway, that says,
Yeah.
that's still not worth a trophy. Why don't you go and knock on four? I think it was like 435 once now. So you go for 4, you knock on it. It says, nah, go back to 415. And I thought, yeah, this is clever because you're even spinning the story into the trophies. Yeah. What will you do for that trophy? How far can I push you to get that trophy?
So it reminds me of a bit different. I think I mentioned it before in the Hidden Gems on a Switch episode that we done a special a couple of years back. But it was called Mosaic, and it was basically about the rat race. So you play a guy who's a little bit depressed, you're in a little, flat in the office, and the artwork was beautiful. It wasn't first person or a point and click or anything. It might have been clicking actually, and you just sort of, it was like an isometric view, and then you're going through, and it got a bit weird and very dark. You could work out if he was losing his mind. It was very, very interesting. Again, I sat there, and it was like a bit like Firewatch. It was like the best 4 hours of your life. You're like, this has got me. Like, where is this going? Mate, I'm going to check that out. I'm sure people listening. I think one of them. That sounds awesome.
There's one of the trophies as well that made me laugh. It was, I think it was leave the game on or play the game for 10 years.
What?
So I think
you can't even.
No,
How did you platinum it? How did you platinum it?
Well, no, because I think what you
time machine.
No. I think you have to go into your settings and change your clock on your PlayStation
to
10 years in the future to trigger the trophy.
That is quality.
Yes,
mate, I'm loving it. That's funny. I'm not a trophy hunter by any means. But
I think things like that when they're thought
hilarious.
About it. Yeah, it's good. So I'm going to try and get the rest of those and get that platinum.
That's cool.
And finally, I've just been. I don't think I mentioned last time. I think I forgot, but I've as people who listen to the show will know, I was never into FPS games. Got a lot of motion sickness. Couldn't play them. As I'm getting an old man now, I'm not quite so bad. So I've been going back to them, but I've been playing through the Halos as I never played them first time round. I'm up to 4, nearly through 4. I've been going back.
I haven't either. I've been putting it off, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I've got
them all, but I haven't bothered playing them.
Yeah, the legend.
It's terrible.
Legend that is Boba sent me the Master Chief collection, so I've been playing that on the Series X, and
that's nice.
Yeah, bless him. And I've been playing that. I love the story. I love them deep story games. They're brilliant, really brilliant games. And anyway, I've this time I've jumped on to, because I've done the Bioshocks, done 1, 2, and 3 of those. So now I've jumped onto Borderlands. So I'm about 5, 6 hours into the original Borderlands on a PS3. So I've been playing that at home. And I know they say the jumps in consoles are small nowadays. And apart from a few frame rate drops on the PS3, it looks stunning. It looks really, really. But
isn't that almost? I remember playing it on a 360 online, having a good time with it at one point as my main game. But isn't that almost like comic-y style?
Yeah, it's like cartoony, cell shaded sort of thing.
So I guess that makes it a bit more timeless.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. But yeah, it plays so well, and I've been enjoying that as something different and a bit of a Mad Max sort of apocalyptic world. So I've been jumping on there when I get a chance. Great fun. Been really enjoying that. So that's sort of my next. I try and always have these older FPS games in the background ticking away that I'm, ticking off the list. Yeah, going through. If anyone else has got any suggestions for me to play, sort of PS3, Xbox 360, or even PS2.
I don't think you need any, but I love that you welcome them. You love a backlog.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, chuck them in the Discord and I'll add them to my monstrous list. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have been playing, Scott.
Mate, that is pretty impressive. When I say backlog from RGT, I don't mean the floater he leaves behind him in the bath. I mean his games.
Oh, dear.
Right. Shall we move on to a little bit of juicy news?
Yeah, why not? I'll let you take the lead on this, as you are the editor and author of this wonderful news.
Well, I had to speak to you guys up in space, up with Elon Musk on the Starlink, and obviously get a better overview of everything over there, don't you? I suppose you can sort of see all the curvatures of the Earth, and you're able to see the news. So you was homing down, you radioed me, you said, "Scott, over there, 1,000 points longitude, 7,000 points latitude. There's a juicy bit of news there for some gaming news. Then I flew in there with a ray, and down we went. Right. Okay, so first thing, this is an interesting one, RGT, and this would be a good one to see what you and the listeners feel about it. Apparently, Vampire Survivors is getting its own movie. So apparently the indie roguelike title Vampire Survivors is being adapted into a live-action film. Developer Ponicle is excited about the project, but notes that the process has been difficult as the game has no story, which is, I guess, is a very first thing you would think of. Going forward, Vampire Survivors plans to release larger and less frequent updates. Obviously, we had the Castlevania DLC, but apparently there's some big major roadmap details coming in 2025. And also an upcoming game. I don't know how it's going to work. They're doing a Vampire Survivor, whether it's a DLC or a new game. Apparently, it's an upcoming game, and it's like a horror version of Stardew Valley. So, according to
No
developer pod
way.
called the indie roguelike shoot 'em up Vampire Survivors adapted to a live action film since its full release in late 2022. Vampire Survivors has been an incredible success through the creation of a film based on the title. Presents some unique challenges, which I guess is the fact that what the hell are they going to base it on? Vampire Survivors has just released an incredibly impressive Castlevania DLC, but it should only mark the beginning of its vampire-related crosswords. So, according to a recent Steam post from developer Ponicle themselves, a Vampire Survivors film is in the works with Story Kitchen, a company known for its video game adaptations for film and television. The creator explains that they are taking their time to get things right. Something particularly difficult as Vampire Survivors has no real plot to speak of. Nobody can really anticipate how a film about it will be, Ponicle said, that it is part of what makes it exciting. The developer also teased that several other cross-media projects are in the works, which is what I think is with the Stardew Valley game. So projects are in the works with more news set to be revealed sometime in 2025. And it basically just goes on, finishing the article, saying there's going to be some serious big updates rather than little frequent ones. And it even says about a roguelike in its first 2025 patch. So, first of all, this is incredibly exciting for Vampire Survivors fans because this keeps coming up in Game of Years all over the shop, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think, I mean, that's the big thing now is to have video game adaptations, TV series, films.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're promoting to an audience that hasn't played the game and you make a decent film, it's fine. If you're changing that game too much, but just using the good of the name, you could get it very wrong. This is why I think this is probably quite good because there isn't a lot of lore to Vampire Survivor.
It's got to be anime, surely, RGT, because you just put
Yeah,
on a streaming service, low budget.
yeah, and also, like I
Dunno.
say, there isn't a lot of lore to it. So if
No.
someone then turns around and say, "Well, that's not in the game," so how do you know there's no story? So
Do you know who would love working on this, creating the lore? Me and George. We would
yeah,
love this.
that would go off piece. That would. There'd be
We'd sit around
UFOs,
a
God knows
table.
everything, werewolves, the lot. But see, I saw a trailer the other day for the Until Dawn film that they're bringing out, and I was really disappointed because they've sort of used that premise of making it Until Dawn, and that's all they've done. That's all gone off piste on all these different, and I'm like, you've just used the name there, haven't you?
Yeah,
you ain't really, and this
yeah.
me and the Mrs. RGT are a really big fan of the game. We've completed it a couple of times. We've completed it with friends. We love playing that game. And then you see that and think, yeah, if you didn't play the game and you watched that film and that was just a half decent sort of B movie horror, it's like, oh, that's quite good.
Yeah.
But if you've played the game, you've gone, hang on, this isn't what the game was about. So this might benefit Vampire Survivors. If you haven't got that lore in place in the first place, it's a bit of a free reign to use that name and go off on a bit of a story with it, I think. But
Yeah.
what do you reckon? You're gonna queue up the cinema to watch this?
I don't think it'd be cinema, to be honest
No,
with you.
Netflix or something? Or?
I don't think there's risk anymore in making TV shows and films because I feel like you don't need a timestamp anymore. So
That's a
I
point.
know
Good
we're a
point.
gaming podcast, but obviously this is a game moving into, say it's a film. At the end of the day, when it says a film, it could just be a 45-minute feature film that's on Amazon or Netflix, and they'll use it as an advert to get more people on board. You don't know who it's aiming at. It's something that could just stay on there for a whole year, so it's not as much risk. It's not like they've got to pay all these voice actors, do a big set. It might not be what we're thinking of when they say film. because it's bizarre how chilled they are. Like they've said from that article, it's very, very difficult. We don't know what direction to go. There's nothing to go on. But then they've said they are doing it. They're taking, it's like they're confirming it. We've spoken to, um, someone that makes films, and we're excited for the challenge. So it's like they're just. So that makes me think they're just going to go for something. Because what's the worst thing can happen? People on the internet will go, "That's terrible," and it'll make you think, "Oh, Vampire Survivors, I might play that." Like, there's no bad outcome,
Yeah.
is there? Do you know
No,
what I
you're
mean?
right. No, you're right. Yeah, it's a popular thing to do now. I mean, don't get me wrong. You got adaptations like Last of Us, and the first series they done of that. If you're into the game and played The Last of Us, they've done a fantastic job and actually almost crossed over, because if you played the game, there's Easter eggs in that show where you think,
Yeah,
that's why she done that, or that's why that happened. So they sort of almost cross over and benefit each other. But then that's the difference with that is Neil Druckmann, director of The Last of Us, also done the TV show. So
yeah.
he's you've got the same guy doing it. That's why, but that's probably so good. But there's loads of others, and some that come back the other way. Indiana Jones was the show that's then been into a game and gone the other way. But yeah, it'd be
Yeah, that's true.
interesting.
But
Be
yeah,
interested to see where they head with that, and yeah, keep eyes on
even
that and
the
see what happens.
yeah, even the fact they've announced they're going a bit of a spin-off of different games and stuff. I think that's exciting in itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. So we'll follow that story. But yeah, let us know in the Discord what you think of that one. Very, very interesting indeed. Next one I have up here, which is going to be appealing to a lot of wrestling fans. So if you're into the 2K WWE series, and to be honest with you, I myself have started putting on watching wrestling again because it's on Netflix. It's so easy,
I saw it on
and
there.
it
Me
yeah,
personally, I've never been interested. I never have got it. I've never had that hype. I've got
yeah, yeah,
well, a good friend of mine goes to every show in London. He goes everywhere. He's collected, and I mean this.
yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. Thousands of figures, and I mean thousands. A whole room full of wrestling figures. That's how much he's into it. All the original rings and stuff. He loves it. He's absolutely passionate about it. Me, I've never got it, but you can see the appeal because I know so many people that enjoy it and watch it.
Oh
And
yeah, I loved it. As a kid in the '90s and stuff like that, the Attitude Era, and then obviously as it went into the noughties, I sort of fell out of it, which you discovered other things, I suppose, beer, women, and football, or whatever it is. But I always do keep an eye on Raw. Royal Rumble's my favourite event. I prefer it over WrestleMania. So literally every year, I always say to Mrs. Marathon Gaming, literally after Christmas, I will watch the odd Raw or SmackDown just to see who the wrestlers are, what the storylines are, because I do like watching Raw Rumble every year, just because. I mean, it's disappointing last year in 2024 because there was no, like, you get random people come in, Johnny Knoxville, like, even the wrestlers don't know who coming in. It's kept such secrecy. It's such a good laugh. Do you have celebrities come in, old wrestlers and stuff? But it's died down the last couple of years. But I know with Triple H at the helm, I'm hoping I reckon it's going to be a big one. So yeah, so it has been more
mm,
exciting. But anyway, so the news we've got for WWE 2K25 is it's teasing the potential possibility of basically a new gameplay feature. So a much requested gameplay feature which we used to have on the older title. So WWE 2K25 teases a return of intergender matches, sparking excitement among fans after years without the feature. Speculation and rumours surrounding WWE 2K25 are circling with fans eager for possible news features and additions. The success of WWE 2K24 has raised expectations for 25 as the franchise aims to deliver on fan requests and surpass previous installments. And I think that's a little bit from Vince handing it over to Triple H. They're trying to make it cool again, I feel like. So
mm.
they're listening to the people more. So 2K25 may have just teased a return of intergender matches. With many fans already looking forward to 2K25, many speculations and rumours are currently circulating the internet. With the success of 24 had, WWE Universe is hoping developers can keep building on the new formula by adding more of much requested features that players have wanted all these years. So WWE fandom has been heavily discussing many of the rumours and ideas that could be added to the next iteration of the game. Some fans have been digging deep from previous year's interviews with the developers regarding possible additions to 2K25, while some have found leaks about who might be included on the roster and on the game's cover. Surprisingly, 2K25 also started to hype the game up with a video clip that was posted, and that is where this article has come from. So, in a Twitter post by WWE themselves, Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio cut back and forth in a promo to promote the actual upcoming title, the game itself. So while not much was said, Ripley tried to say something on the lines of some people think they're inter, and then basically got cut off RGT. So there was a move
Mm,
done by Mysterio. So it was weird they chose a male and a female beefing it, and that is a current storyline.
yeah,
And then she went to say something, got cut off. It reminds me a little bit what Nintendo do. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
many fans
Tease.
have come to believe that Rhea Ripley could be hinting at a return of intergender matches. This said feature last appeared in SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. So many gamers have been waiting for 16 years for the feature to return.
16
So
years.
yeah, apparently it got banned. So I don't know why. I personally, RGT, when I saw this article, I was excited for it because I've been meaning to play a WWE game for years. I haven't, but I've been meaning to. So it might be one I'll do, in what we hope to play. But I'm sure I've seen streaming someone create a massive female character, and like she was huge, like as a
Mm,
joke, and then she was taking on male wrestlers. So, but that could be obviously a hack. It could be a man just in heels. It could be anything, couldn't it? So
yeah, true.
I was, yeah, but I mean, obviously you said you're not a wrestling fan, RGT, but that's pretty cool that they're gonna go for something new because you get these games like your FIFAs and that, and they obviously we had a nice exception because it went from FIFA to EA, but normally
Yeah.
they're just regenerating the same stuff. For them to actually go, do you know what? Bang, have something new.
Mm,
And I think it's rightly so because the female wrestling division now is so strong. Where, well, I've had my odd eye on it. I see they've even got now, not just obviously you saw a Divas Championship. It's obviously for a long time now been the Women's Championship, and rightly so. But they've even got a second championship. So they've got the Women's American Championship. So the
mm,
division, their main event in their highlight, their main event in SmackDowns and
mm,
Raw and WrestleMania. I know years ago, the very first time women main evented was when Ronda Rousey, wasn't it, came in.
mm.
So she main evented it. But obviously, we get a women's Royal Rumble every year now. And obviously, back in the day, I remember seeing China feature in the men's Royal Rumble. And I think even Lita, I think her name was. You remember the Hardy? Obviously, you don't know, but from the Hardy Boys, there was a female sort of companion.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool. It's cool that it's.
I
I don't
think
know
it's
why it was removed, but yeah,
I think that's good. I mean, because even when you look back on tennis games and that, if you're playing with your mate, you can pick, like virtual tennis, you can pick a female character and a male character and play against each other, So I think it's good that they bring it back into games. I mean, when you play like Ultimate Team on FIFA and that, you could have female and males in the same team
yeah,
with, similar attributes. So yeah, I think that's good. It gives it puts something back into the game. It gives a bit more longevity to the game, gives you another mode to play and finally get bragging rights who you think is better. So yeah, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's good to add that back in. Really, I think the world has changed a lot now, and I think it's a good thing to have in. I mean,
yeah.
are you going to be getting this and playing or?
Well, I brought a 2K WWE games. I heard they've been very good. So when I first brought a PS5 and an Xbox Series X, I went and got one. Ironically, it was for the PS4, I think, but I know you can play them on the PS5.
Yeah, yeah,
But I've never played it. It's just one of those ones where, yeah, I just haven't got around to it. Unless there's certain games I just can't play, and this will sound ridiculous. For example, I am itching. I've loved NFL this year. Been following the Bears. Their season ended. I've been watching the playoffs. I'll watch every game for the playoffs. I'll stay up watch the Super Bowl. Um, Hope no one from work's listening to this because I'm definitely going to be late that day on a Monday. But I can't
yeah.
seem to play any of the Madden games because it's a. Is it EA Madden? Is it
Yes,
EA?
yes, I believe it is. Yeah,
So I just don't know where my login. I've tried to reset. I can't log into the account. I can't get into the game. So any
oh
game that's
no,
got restrictions where I need to log into their server, I just can't. I don't bother with it. So it might have happened with 2K potentially. I'm not sure. No, because 2K did the Mafia, didn't they?
yes, yeah, yeah,
So no, so I won't have a problem with it. So I should be fine. So yeah, I
yeah.
am excited for it, but I'll probably just play an old one to be honest, because I won't know no difference. Last time I played a wrestling game was probably on the Wii. So
You ought to try that one we had the developer on with George. We did
oh
the
no,
interview.
sorry, tell a lie. I have played that. Yeah, I
Wrestling
have. George has
Empire,
been
is it?
playing that.
Yeah,
Yeah, Wrestling Empire, I believe it is. So yeah, the RPG, and it's made it's brilliant. So it's made a bit like No Mercy sort of graphics at
yeah, yeah,
N64. But yeah, that is wild. Do you know what? I was on the phone with George a few days ago, and I said what you've been playing, ironically, and he literally said he was back on that again. And
yeah. He's
yeah,
put some
very, very,
hours in that.
Oh, it's a fun game. It's a fun game, definitely,
Brilliant.
and it's well
Oh,
supported as well.
that'd be interesting. You have to give us your views when you play your wrestling games, see how you get on, and
Yeah, I
what the
would. I'll check
matches
that
are
out.
like.
And for anyone who is going to check that out, if you do want an indie game, do check out Wrestling Empires, because I know,
Definitely,
in case you've missed
definitely.
it on a previous show, fantastic that is.
Yeah.
Now I've got some little Switch 2 rumor coming from Xbox.
Ooh.
Now, just a little disclaimer: on the next show, which will be coming very soon, we'll be talking about some Xbox news, because basically, at time of recording this, there is currently a basically a developer direct for Xbox. So we'll be covering that. Now, we have got a little bit of Switch 2 rumors, and this rumor is 5 Xbox games leaked for the Switch 2. So Nintendo Switch 2 may receive Xbox owned titles. Now, the latest rumours about potential upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 games suggest that 5 Xbox-owned titles could be coming to the home console slash handheld hybrid at some point down the line. Nintendo has finally shown its Switch 2 console to the world, which we discussed previously,
Mm-hmm.
but only a handful of games confirmed to be in development for the console at time of writing. Various indie games have declared for Switch 2, while Nintendo itself have only confirmed that a new Mario Kart game is in development for the console. In the meantime, however, this is the exciting bit, rumours have been swirling about how aggressively other companies might be supporting the Switch 2. With Ubisoft, this is odd because I thought they were dead in the water, Seb told us, said to have over half a dozen games in development for the system. So that's a bit conflicting. And
I would
Microsoft,
imagine development or remastering might be
yeah,
the. I reckon remastering might be because Ubisoft decided to jump in, but Ubisoft being in trouble, I would imagine if they can knock out some remasters, chuck them on the Switch 2 at launch, if there isn't many games, people are going to buy them. So you're going to get a hell of a lot of sales early doors. So I would imagine
yeah.
that's probably where they're heading, I think. But yeah, sorry, carry on.
Well, that's right. Strap yourself in for this one because it's it's not all exciting. So, if the leaks are correct, are to be believed, it's going to be Diablo 4, Fallout 4, Halo, the Master Chief Collection, Microsoft Flight Simulator, how odd, and Starfield might all be in a. I mean, you might as well give it a go with Starfield because it didn't get what it wanted. Might all be development for the Switch 2. Diablo 4 in particular appears to be the most likely to come to the Switch 2, which kind of makes sense. After all, Blizzard brought Diablo 3 to the original Switch back in
Mm.
2018. And since Diablo 4 is a cross gen game, it shouldn't have much trouble running Nintendo's new handheld. So, yeah, Diablo 4, Fallout 4, Flight Simulator, Starfield, a Halo game. Um, yeah, so as far as the Bethesda games, I can't say that, Bethesda games go, it wouldn't really be all surprising to see them on a Switch 2 either. So they got Skyrim brought on the original Switch as well, so it makes sense for it to bring some of its other games to the console successor. Fallout 4 has remained hugely popular since release in 2015, and while Starfield hasn't enjoyed quite the same longevity, it has still been a massive sales and critical success for the company. Expanding Starfield to the Switch 2 will give even more gamers the opportunity to try it out, potentially growing interest in the IP in the process. Any of
Mm.
those games, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'd give. I know, would I give Starfield another bash? No, I'd probably play it on the Xbox. Diablo 4. Again, I've got. I don't know which of those I'm actually that bothered about. RGT, being brutally honest.
Most of them you'd look at and think, I keep going back to the original Switch. I keep thinking, oh, that's going to be tough on the original Switch. But I keep thinking, no, we've got more powerful hardware. It will cope with these fine if the rumors are
Yeah,
believed on specs. But now I played quite a lot of Diablo 3, I believe. So Diablo 4, that's good. Fallout 4, it's not really my bag. Halo, I'm already playing through Master Chief Collection. Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's not really my thing, but a good one for the Switch. And Starfield, a game I did play, didn't get on with, but and this is the thing with the Switch again,
mm.
the big appeal to this is having them on a Switch. You having them in handheld, having Starfield in handheld mode, having
Oh,
Master,
you don't need to convert me, RGT. I've
you
got my
know,
scuba diving gear on. I'm in the pool. I'm
you
doing
know,
lengths with
you
holding
ain't,
it above the water.
you know,
Give me
you
a waterproof Switch 2. That's what I want.
like a GoPro case,
Yeah.
so it's just that added appeal of going on holiday, going on a trip, going away for a long weekend. Oh, I can't play my Halo game. Oh, yes, I can. I've got it on the Switch. Switch in your bag, away you go. You've got the full shebang there. So yes, some of them are older games. Yes, people have already played them, but it's just that appeal to having it on the go. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's and yes, Microsoft is a very different company, or Xbox, I should say, is a very different company to what it was. What their goals are now has really changed, as we know. Um, the Series X and Series S just aren't selling. I mean, the latest figures are PlayStation's out selling them 5-1. So they
Blimmin' hell. I did not know it was that high,
five
RGT.
to yeah November.
Wow.
The figures were released for November, and it was
Oh
five
my
to one.
God.
So they've gone. I don't think it helped with them doing this. This is an Xbox. So basically saying you can play Xbox on anything. Well, then most people are going, well, why do I buy a console then? If I can play it on a Fire Stick, why do I need a console? So I think they've hurt their own sales a bit. But anyway, we digress. So I think for them, this is a great move. You're going to be on a console, which the original one has got well over 100 million users. If 50% of them upgrade within the first year and you're sticking a load of your games on there, the chances are you're going to make big bank on sales. Plus, it's on Xbox. Plus it's on Nintendo, so they're going to be full price games, and get a bit of money back. Obviously, most of your Starfield, Flight Simulators, Halo players, most of the time have played them on Games Pass, so you aren't getting the sales figures from that. And if your Games Pass numbers are dropping, they're not making you any bank. So
Do you know
chuck
what?
them over.
You argue that a
Yeah,
very logical battle, my friend.
and
Yeah, I
the
agree with
same
you.
again. If they come early to the system and they're in, if these 5 games are in the first 30 games released for this system, you're more than likely going to buy them. So if you sell 20 million systems like they're predicting in the first year, you've got potential of 20 million users there that are all going to be buying your games yet again. So yeah, for Xbox, that's a no-brainer, really. That's going to be big bank for them, I think. And again, the appeal, all of it, even Fallout 4 to a certain extent, it's not really my game, but they all really appealed to me a bit. Just having that,
Oh, you're
yeah,
in. You're falling.
yeah.
I've heard even Seb's getting his pre-order money for Switch 2. I've heard he's excited. He's
I'm not
listened
sure
to
about
our.
that. I'm not
Hey,
sure
listen.
about that.
He's listened to our episode RGT, and he's gone. Do you know what? Scott and RGT, those guys make sense. He's probably realised he's come to light, and he's gone. Maybe I did hit my head, and he's thinking I need to jump on a Switch 2. These guys know what's going on.
Yeah, well, I think like I say, it's going to be a no-brainer, and also, if you're a Switch user, it's giving you even a bigger library of games to play, which
Oh, we can't
originally were
complain.
locked to other systems. So that's
Or RGT, could they be testing a water for a Game Pass app on the Switch too? Ooh.
there's a lot of people that think that, but it's
Well,
it's
well, I'll tell
I
you
think
what.
that's an argument for another day. But yeah, I think there's fors and against of that, I think. But well, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, if those games don't tickle you, maybe this one will. So this next hot, juicy gossip for the Switch 2 is Hollow Knight. So Silksong creator drops clues of Switch 2 version. So GameSpot reports this. So it's been a while since we've seen anything new from the hotly anticipated Hollow Knight Silksong. However, there's a chance that it could show up during a Switch 2 focused Nintendo Direct on April 2nd. So on January 15th, the day before Nintendo officially announced Switch 2, Hollow Knight creator William Pellin said on Twitter, "Something big is coming. Keep your eyes closed tomorrow." At the end of the Switch 2 reveal trailer, Nintendo also announced that it will host a Switch 2 Focus Direct on April 2nd. The hints don't stop there. Pellin changed his Twitter profile picture to a slice of cake. A reverse image on Google of the picture reveals that the recipe of the cake was posted on April. Hold on a minute. The Switch picture reveals that the recipe of the cake was posted on April 2nd, 2024. Fans think that this was a deliberate move and that Pellin is hinting that Hollow Knight Silksong will be shown on April 2025 Nintendo Direct. I don't quite get the analogy of the
This is the
cake, to be
same
honest with you.
date. I think it's the same date. So if you,
Oh, okay. That's
yeah,
clever. That is clever.
these these
Um,
these game companies, they like drawing us in on
Mate,
these little.
that's some
They
serious
bait us.
PR, isn't it?
They
Yeah,
bait
I
us
don't know
there,
what
don't
to
they?
believe anymore. I really don't. That tongue tied me for a second. Yeah, a little bit more excited. I mean, I have tried. But I'm probably thinking of Shovel Knight.
Yeah,
But
well,
yeah,
I think it's people have been anticipating this game for a long, long time, and what a thing for Nintendo as well. There's big fans. There's a big following of this series, Hollow Knight. So if you go and you're open and show it that, you go and drop it on the Switch 2 games reveal. I mean, brilliant, isn't it? That's worked for both people. I mean, for Nintendo, that's a really big indie game to have on the system day one, and
Yeah.
for the Hollow Knight devs, you're going on the system as one of the hottest selling, or the original was one of the hottest selling consoles of all time. So it's a win-win for both parties there. So yeah, I think that's a good deal for both people really, and also for them big fans. Could there be timed exclusive on the system? I mean, if it is, it's going to draw a lot of people into playing that Switch, getting that Switch too early
Yeah.
doors, and jumping on. So
It all
yeah.
helps, mate, doesn't it? It's going to be a good running. I have heard, we was talking RGT about the Switch 2 release date, and we thought it was going to be July. We discussed it in the
Mm-hmm.
summer.
Mm-hmm.
Now I saw, I think one of the guys from MAG, Middle Aged Gamer Guys, like community Discord. I saw one of the guys posted. You know the where you go to play the demos, and there's one in each major city
Yep.
around the world, isn't there?
Yeah.
Now the ones in Asia, the dates of them are like July, so it makes you think it would have to be later than that. They couldn't do a demo and then release the game the next day, could they? Makes you
Unless
think
it's
maybe.
unless it's staggered releases, so it will hit
But
them.
you'd be gutted, wouldn't you, if it come out a whole month in a different continent? I mean, I've moved house
Mm,
over to Switch 2 coming a month early. I've
mm.
moved. Oof,
Yeah, maybe that's a tricky one. Yeah. So what date were they? Unless that's going to release it near the end of July, but
I can't remember off the top of my head. I just remember someone, screenshotting it on Twitter and encircling it and going, "Oh, that's showing and testing in June and July." We thought the console was coming in, so I don't know. We'll see what comes of that.
yeah, might
Just
be.
something.
I would probably say then it's probably going to be about a month after the last test. I would have thought so. Maybe August time, the system will drop. Now I reckon on April 2nd when we get this reveal of it, I think we'll be able to pre-order. So get your phone open, ready on Smith's Toys or Amazon, or sit there ready and get in that queue and get that pre-order down, because that's normally once they show it, they normally shadow drop the release, don't they, to beat the scalpers.
Yeah,
So that's what I've done with the PS5 reveal. I was lucky enough to get that day one, so that was sitting there at midnight and just happened to open up Smith's Toys and went, oh, there's a PS5 for pre-order here. Thank you, man. And they didn't tell anyone they were doing it, so maybe that'll be a shadow drop on the second to pre-order that. But yeah, going back to Hollow Knight, brilliant again. I mean, so far I think the news just gets better and better for the Switch 2 for me.
yeah. Speaking of PS5, RGT, have you played Tekken on the PS5?
I haven't. No, the last Tekken I played was PS1.
PS1?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they were brilliant, mate. 1, 2, and 3 were awesome. Well,
superb games. Yeah.
they were so good. This next bit of news might upset one of our, might upset the champ. So, Ginge, the champ, one of his prizes for becoming a champ was a copy of Tekken on the PS5. Now, there's a little bit of a story here. So, Tekken boss clarifies rumors that he's leaving Bandai Namco.
Mm.
So, Tekken fans recently grew alarmed at news spreading that Katsuhiro Harada, I apologise for my pronunciation, could be calling it quits at Bandai Namco, and the game producer has offered clarification. This follows a change to his LinkedIn page that many believe indicated he would leave the Tekken scene. So Harada has been part of the team that's brought Tekken to life since its inception. Though not always in the same role initially, he provided voices to some of the Tekken characters in its first release. So probably the ones we played, and later went on to direct the game, starting with Tekken 3. While his role with the series sometimes changed, many fans have expressed worry over the idea of him leaving the company and the series development team entirely. And that makes sense because he's been on it as early as me and you playing at RGT, and they've
Mm.
obviously they've really done well. They've leaped quite far ahead, didn't they, past Street Fighter,
Yeah.
really. So
Yeah.
recently, Harada made a change to his LinkedIn profile to set off alarms for fans. Genki initially reported Harada has added an open to work hashtag in his profile, which was thought to mean that he was looking to work outside of Bandai. However, Harada has now clarified the matter, explaining that he's not going to work anywhere. He just wants to expand horizons by talking to more people. Harada assured Tekken fans they don't need to worry about it, and Genki has since withdrawn its original post. Tekken 8 development continues with Harada on board. While fans were initially worried, it wouldn't make much sense for Harada to leave the team at this point. Tekken 8 is still receiving fresh content. The game has just released a patch 1.11 a few days prior to this, worrying development, and also added its Final Fantasy 16 Clive the Tekken 8's fighter roster recently. Tekken 8 is already teasing and laying the groundwork for Season 2 as well, which will arrive in spring 25. So it's getting a lot of fresh content. It's well
Mm,
supported. So while the title future updates have likely been laid out already, it'd be surprising to see him leave while a Tekken game is still getting content. Now,
mm.
that is still worrying, is it not? Because he said he wants to talk to other developers. Maybe he's just got bored of it, wants something new. But that is, I can see why Tekken hardcore fans would be worried.
I
Especially
think
if he's done
so.
a post then changed it. It's like you're getting caught out, isn't it?
Yeah, and the thing is nowadays, it's that old digital footprint, isn't it? You can't go changing things. People will know. Fans know. They look at this
I
stuff
would have
daily.
thought something that big. I mean, even in my industry, like I couldn't do that. I couldn't click open for work. You'd have to do it behind closed doors. I could talk to companies, but if I said it, my company would go crazy. So I'm surprised a gaming these people in this industry would do it. Really
Well,
shocked.
I think it's probably more along the lines that he's Bandai Namco already know this. He's probably already something's already been
Had
agreed.
conversations. I
Yeah,
guess so.
and I think he's been doing that game a lot of years. He's obviously loyal, so he's seeing through with Tekken 8. He's seeing through with the content, but I think he's leaving that door open, thinking, well, Switch 2's on the way, PS5 Pro's out now. There might be opportunities for new games. Go down a new journey, maybe jump into something like RPG or an open world game, something down them lines. And he's thinking, well, I've been in the industry a long time. Let's mix it up a bit. Let's try something different, and
Yeah.
yes, it's sad to see these sort of legends leave certain games and certain genres, but then again, it's always nice to see what they come up with in doing something different. So it's a mixed bag, and it's
I'm sure it'd be a good handover. And I guess they're worried for future titles, but um, yeah, I mean, things do change. It could be for the better for you. You don't know, do you? It's just I guess no one likes change, and if you like the product you're being given, if there's a risk it's gonna go the other way, of course you'll be fuming. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
get it. I get it.
yeah. And I think well, I don't know if it's been confirmed yet or not, but as a recording this, I think one of the top guys at Insomniac has left as well. Although it's not in our news report, it was just coming
Oh,
through. So yeah, I think we might have to cover that next week. But these things change, and yes, they're sort of embedded into that company, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad for the genre of the game or the company. So
yeah.
sometimes change is good as well as bad. So yeah, well, I think as far as Tekken 8 fans, you're just gonna have to see what happens really and see where it goes after here. But once he has gone, but the moment he's still there, and you never know, things might change. I might have this amazing idea for Tekken 9, and he might be going, right, I'm on board with this. So we
Yeah.
don't know, but yeah, he's obviously looking to expand his horizons and try something different. It's
Yeah.
been a long time within the Tekken world, so
I personally really like Street Fighter 6. I know a lot of people didn't, so I tried a bit of Tekken. I don't feel it was for me. It seemed like a bit too anime, a bit too like a bit too over the top.
yeah.
But with Street Fighter 6, it seemed to have been stripped a little bit more back to basics. It had like an RPG
I
element.
remember you
I don't know if
saying
you
about
play.
that. That really
Yeah,
interests me.
mate, it's really yeah, it's really cool. So you had to beat. So like you would create a character, you roll the streets against random, NPCs, and you fight random challenge people, and then the main Street Fighter characters will be on the block. So, for example, you'll build up, you'll go fight Chun Li, and if you beat her, you get to steal her move set. So your character gets better, and you get all these different moves. You create the perfect Street Fighter. It's a really cool game, mate. It's
Yes, yeah, I've been
a
tempted with
nice,
it.
nice turn. Maybe that's what he was trying to do at Tekken. And he said, "Look, why don't we try?" Yeah, you never know. He might just want to
And
do something
also, I
else.
mean, as bearing in mind that he might necessarily not be leaving Bandai. I mean,
Exactly. He might just want to
Bandai
do
do
that
so
and
many
something
different.
else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bandai.
Might
I mean,
oversee it. Yeah.
yeah, they do like the game I've been playing, Sandland. They cover that. They do big RPGs. They do big JRPGs. They do open world games. Bandai do loads of stuff. So he might just be
Yeah.
going into the next office, but he might still be in the building to help with Tekken. So
Yeah.
you don't know. It could mean a lot of things, but I think watch that space and see what happens. Really.
Sure. So we have covered some nice little news and rumours. Would you like to hear some game releases for January? Because there's a few which we haven't talked about last week, because obviously we was covering the Switch 2. So it'd be interesting, RG, to run through these because there is some big games in here, and this is across all platforms.
Yeah, I'm
So if
sort
you're
of looking. I'm
happy,
looking at your list. There's
yeah,
some interesting games on here. We can
there
sort of
is.
go through and
Yeah, do you
chat
know
about.
what? I'll start at the top and then I'll work my way through and then we'll pause about halfway down and we'll talk about any that pique our interest. We'll do that. We'll sort of split it into
Yeah,
two
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
three. So
yeah.
so the first one is for Nintendo Switch, January 16th, which is Donkey Kong Country Returns in HD. Then we had Montezuma's Revenge, the 40th anniversary, PC edition, January 16th. Things Too Ugly. This is on Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, January 16th. Dynasty Warriors Origins, which I do want to talk about in a moment. PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC, January 17th. Towers of Graces F remastered on Switch, January 17th. I'll tell you what, we'll just pause it there, RGT.
Mm.
Which of those has tickled your little tummy
Um,
button?
Another Tales game as well. God, they knock these Tales games out, don't they? You know, that's.
Like, yeah, and it's not a quick game either, is it?
I mean, no,
It's
I
not
don't
a
know
quick
how they
game.
make these games. I mean, they're not like an old
Must be AI
RPG.
just rendering it
I
for them,
said how they
upscaling it.
do. There's so many of the
Yeah,
Tales games, and they're all like 40, 50 hour RPGs, aren't they? But that looks interesting on the Switch. I think that'd be a good game to have on the Switch. You know, get into an RPG that you can just take on the
yeah.
move, you know, build your character as you go, and that seems good. Um, I've never played a Dynasty Warriors game.
But I've
Never
seen
played.
some of them. I played old school arcade ones, which are completely different. But yeah, you probably thought I was going to talk about Donkey Kong Country Returns as being a Switch man, but no, I'm going to go for Dynasty Warriors because I was watching Middle Aged Gamer Guy do a stream of it
Mm-hmm.
literally a couple of nights ago, and it looked absolutely crisp. There's a decent story in it. It's very, very over the top. So I'm trying to think. There was a Zelda game a bit like this, you
Was that
know, like a
Hyrule Warriors you're
that's
thinking
it. So it's
of?
very over the top. You've got it
To
wasn't even
fight
a
masses of
katana.
enemies, don't
Yeah,
you, at once?
your sword's about 30 foot long. But it's very good
Proper Final
story.
Fantasy style.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. Really good art style, really good characters, proper voiced story as well, not just text. And then it was mass combos, mass enemies and waves. But it's really, really solid. And I asked him a couple of questions while I was on the stream. You know, price of it. It does look quite pricey by looks of it, you know, upwards of 60 to 70 pounds. But it looks like the main campaign's a good 25, 30 hours.
Mm.
You know, and that's if you're good.
Yeah.
So there is a big game there, and it's became reviews for it were actually very high. So I think the metric for it was all 8.5s, which means it was getting between eights and nines. So it's got a very good score. So
Mm. It could be
that
one
could
to.
be a bit of
So what's
could be a mumsy that one.
Things Too Ugly? What's this about then? Do you know much about this game? Or?
I don't. I kind of gutted. What I
Interesting
should have.
title.
Yeah, do you know what I should have done? I should have at least found out the genre and checked out a little trailer because I don't know too much
But
about the others,
Donkey
to be
Kong,
honest.
that speaks for itself, doesn't it? I mean, they're
Yeah,
always fun, aren't they? Donkey Kong. Have you bought that Donkey Kong Country
I
actually?
haven't, mate. The um only thing I tell you, there was another game I've been playing. It's actually that Mario Party Jamboree, which I did mention
Oh
previous. But yeah,
yes, 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 yes.
I haven't had many games come in to be honest. January, obviously, your finance is always a bit restricted after Christmas, so
Yeah, definitely,
we'll
yeah.
see. We'll see if Longhorn lets me out to pop to the local CEX, which is 784 miles east. RGT, do you want to pick it up from January 20th and then run down maybe to the end of January 23rd?
Yeah, no problem. We've got Iden, I believe you pronounced that. IDUN, Iden PC, January 20th. We've got Magic Inn PC, January 20th. We've got Super Rowboy PC, January 20th. We've got Somber Echoes PC, January 21st, which is Pontepino's Adventures, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, and Switch, January 22nd. We have got Dream Core, PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC, January 23rd. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, PC, January 23rd. I did see Game Riot on YouTube covering a bit of that, and that
I
does
was
look.
quite shocked that wasn't already. I mean, unless it looks extra good, I thought surely that'd be on there already.
Yeah, it's. I think they tend to have a bit of delay. I think your PlayStation has a bit of a timed exclusive on those, and then they switch them across to PC. And then if you got these guys with these super duper PCs running literally generators to power them,
Yeah,
it looked good anyway, but it does look phenomenal if you've got a decent PC. Um, Then we've got Graviators Switch January 23rd. Rocket Boots Mania PC January 23rd. We've got Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles
Oh, George, get your wallet
PS5,
out, mate.
PS4, Xbox Series
Game of the
X
year.
and
You've heard it here.
S, Xbox One, Switch PC January 23rd. And then finally, we've got Singularity Echo of Ada PS5, Xbox Series XS PC January 23rd. So what's tipping your fancy out of those then, Scott?
I want to check out Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles, to be honest.
I didn't even know
That's
they were bringing this over, you know. Is this just like
mate, I didn't. That's what I was that's what I was
I
quite
saw it the
surprised
other
by.
day crop up and I thought, really? I didn't even know that was a
Yeah.
game that they would sort of think was worth redoing. But I
Let's
suppose then again they bought like the racing game and all that over, didn't they? And they've been porting these
Yeah.
old ones when people get a bit of nostalgia for it, and I suppose it's just a bit of a reskin on it. I wouldn't say it's a remaster or a remake. I would say it's just a reskin of the PS1 game.
Yeah, a lot of these are obviously PC games.
Yeah.
But there is a Switch game on there, Gravitators. So I'm just trying to check out now a little trailer, just to see what sort of game that is. Because obviously I'm always interested in. So it does look very, very retro indeed. So it looks again like a very strange sort of indie game. You control a spaceship, so it looks a bit like Asteroids. Controlling a spaceship, you're progressing through the levels
Yeah, I think
vertically,
I've seen a
horizontally. It's a
trailer on
shooter.
that.
That
Yeah.
actually looks quite good. So yeah, it's a shooter, but you control it a bit like Asteroids, where you sort of spin around as well. So
Same again,
thrusters.
perfect for the
Yeah,
Switch, isn't it? Perfect for
perfect.
the
Yeah, it
Switch.
reminds me a little bit of not Graceful Exploding Machine. What is the one where you're controlling? It was a super rare game. Oh, really good four-player RGT. I'll have to play it with
Was
you if
that
you haven't
that?
played
Was
it.
that like spaceship?
Lovers in a Dangerous
Lovers,
Space
that's
Time.
it. Lovers, yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, maybe that one then. Maybe that one.
I like it when they try these different things, that genre, and twist it a bit. You know, I think it's good because that's nice to see new game mechanics. You know, and
Yeah,
sort of things like what Overcooked and that done, where you have to work together to get things done. That suddenly adds, that's not all on you. Then you have to work as a team, which is really good. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. That seems interesting. That Gravitators, that looks good. Like I say, Star Wars Episode 1 as well. I mean, I remember playing that way back in the day, so that'd be interesting to fire that
yeah,
back up again. That'd be brilliant. That's nice that they release it on everything as well.
yeah.
PS5,
It's nice to
PS4,
see it.
yeah.
Yeah, even PC. It's nice they haven't left that as well. It's nice.
But if
The other, sorry, RGT, go on.
no, go on, carry on.
No, I was just going to say the other games. I didn't know if it's worth leaving them for the next show, just because um, they are coming out later on in the month. I didn't know if you wanted me to run through them or save some.
Yeah, we could do them. We can do them because that'll be, you
Yeah,
know, that's obviously
I'll
coming
tell
up
you what.
in as a recording. That'll be coming out in this week. So
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we've got Singularity Echo of Ada, which is on PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC January 23rd. I'll tell you what, RGT would do one each, so I'll let you take the next one.
I have to know how to pronounce this. Cuisinier?
Oh, yes, yes, so I've done you dirty there, and I swear,
Yeah.
mate.
Cuisinier, I think it is.
Yeah,
Switch,
Cuisinier,
January
yeah.
28th.
And then we've got Neptunia Riders versus Dogoos. I don't know if I've run that correctly.
That-
PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch, January 28th.
That's just interesting because of the name alone, I think, that one.
Yeah,
Orcs Must Die, Death Trap, Xbox
that
Series
sounds
XS.
cool.
Yeah, PC, January 28th.
Another one that sounds strong. Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter. I haven't played the first one. This is on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, all of them again. Switch, PC, January 28th.
The Stone of Madness, PS5, Xbox Series XS, Switch, PC, January 28th.
Then we've got Warside, which again is on PS5, PS4, nice bit of backwards, Xbox Series X and Xbox One, Switch and PC, coming to you on January the 28th.
Then we've got Agent Fall, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, Switch, January 29th.
Then we've got Corridon, PC, January on 29th, PC only, that one.
Dead Letter Department, same again, PC only, January 30th.
I'm confused of how many of these games we've had, but we've got another Sniper Elite. This one's called Resistance. I don't know what number we're up to. This is PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, PC, January 30th. They are actually very, very good games. They're very, very cool. So, but it
Yeah,
depends on the price tag for
done by
me.
Rebellion, isn't it? English company, I
The
think.
slow-mos are right up there.
It was
They're as good as
actually,
that top. Oh, mate.
yeah, I enjoyed the sniper games. I think they've done 5. This might even be the 6th one, but I actually knew a guy from my hometown actually
Yeah.
works for Rebellion now as a developer. So
Well, you tell him I haven't enjoyed watching a slow-mo like that since we played Soggy Biscuit round Longhorn's basement. Honestly, it was that good. Pass my condolences on.
Yeah, PG-15. Then we go to Spider-Man 2 PC January 30th.
Then we have got, oh, it's a tough one for me. Genso Manage, Switch PC, January 31st, just in case I've butchered it and anyone is interested. GENSO, then space MANEGE. Now, there is a hell of a lot of games we've covered there. There is some really, really cool ones. I was quite shocked by Spider-Man 2 as well, to be honest, coming PC. But anyone who is listening and is driving along or on their commute to work, and you're thinking, do you know what? I quite like the sound of one of those games. I'm going to get it. Please do let us know how it plays. Let us know in the Discord because we're especially RGT. He loves the backlog, so I'll be interested to know some more about those games. But yeah, anything out of those sort of last half dozen catch your eye at all, RGT?
Oh, I'll tell you what, quite a lot there. I mean, Spider-Man 2, yes, I've loved that game. I know Bobby didn't rate that game, which is funny enough, but I
But
really love.
imagine it with a mouse with the webs.
Well, also, I think, same again, like I was saying before with Final Fantasy. I mean, these guys on the super duper PCs will be cranking up the 120 frames, full ray tracing, wait for the videos to come out to see what that looks like.
Imagine how good the city will look.
Yeah. Because
Oh, it will look
I will,
phenomenal.
I'll have to forward you some pictures. I took a load of screenshots of Spider-Man 2 and I put them on my Instagram. I'll forward them to you when we're finished recording because they still look stunning on that system. So when you're running a big expensive PC, I'm going to imagine that's going to look rather good.
Yeah.
Tales of Iron 2. I haven't played the first one, but I'm getting so into these sort of RPGs and JRPGs at the minute. That sort of appeals to me. I feel like having sort of that sort of adventure. That sounds really good. Orcs Must Die, Death Trap. That sounds
Mate,
really
I
good.
want to. Yeah. Is it anything to do with Warhammer or let me have a little look?
I don't know. There's been a few of the Orcs games, haven't there? So whether that's a link to that or spin off.
Yeah, I guess it's just fantasy, I suppose, or probably not. So that's an actual very hectic sort of third person shooter. It looks a bit like looks very over the top, like Overwatch or something, or with spells and magic. It looks like one of those free to play games, but I can't think which one.
Sounds
That looks
interesting.
quite cool, actually, mate. I might. Oh, Xbox Series X and PC,
I
no
wonder if it's
Switch.
yeah, unless they chuck it onto Games Pass, might be able to jump on it there.
Yeah, oh, play on Games Pass. It does go Xbox. Yeah, I'm a bit tight on buying. I seem to only buy physical games or digital games on the Switch. I don't seem to make an exception for anything else for some reason.
Yeah, yeah, physical games is a strange one now. We've had the digital's gone, and
Unless it's something like Undisputed, like something I've been waiting for, you know? I'm not spending. We won't get started on that, RGT. We just made up. We just become friends. Me and RGT didn't talk to each other the whole of Christmas.
No, he didn't even send me a Christmas card. I was
Didn't
very
even
upset.
send him a Christmas card. I tell you what, I did leave something in your stocking for you, didn't I? It was a bit smelly.
Yeah, that wasn't. I wouldn't say it was a treat, put it that way. I've had to throw the stocking out, but yeah, I think Spider-Man 2 will be interesting to see. Yeah, Nat Tales of Iron would be interesting. Definitely worth getting on the Switch, I think. But yeah, I'll tell you what, surprising what's coming out. For normally we say January is a bit of a dry month, but I'll tell you
Oh,
what,
mate, there's games there.
yeah, there's
And I'll
games
tell
there.
you, yeah, and I could have gone on the Switch store and I could have pulled 100 more. Let's be honest. I
Yeah,
could. So that is all. There's not too much filler there. There was some big games, so it's nice to see. But yeah, let us know if you've been following the releases of those games, if you're interested in those games, and if you do get any of those games, please do let us know. Other than the Discord, RGT, is there an email they can contact us on?
yes, we have the unofficial controller or questions at unofficialcontroller podcast.com. You can email us if you've got any questions, if you've got any reviews of games or shows or anything you want us to, you know, interests us that you think that we might be able to cover on the show, or even if you want to say, hang on, where's your Discord, we can post you some links. So yeah, so it's questions at
And we'll give you a shout out as well. Yeah.
Yes, we'll give you a shout out, give you a read out. And we used to do a lot of shows where we use comments from people and ask questions, and if you think of something you'd like us to bring back, we can bring back. We do the occasional show with it, and it's quite interesting getting your guys' views on stuff, and it gives you a chance to be read out on the show as well. And also, while we're talking about being read out on the show, we have our subscriber list. And I know we say this every week, and you've probably heard this 100 times, but I will briefly go through our tiers list. Basically, if you go on your podcast provider of choice, if you look at the bottom, there is support the show. If you feel inclined, you want to support the show, help get the lights on, help us keep knocking these shows out each week. It's a nice way of doing it, but you don't have to do that. I mean, the Discord is free. The show is free. It will always be free. The Discord will always be free. So it's fine. But if you feel that you really enjoy the show that much and you want to contribute, there's little rewards for you and incentives for doing that, which are $3 you get read out on every show, which you'll hear in a moment. Our list of awesome subscribers. $5 you read out on every show, and you get yearly art merch. If you want to know what yearly art merch is, we change our artwork normally yearly, almost like a band with their albums. So, we'll change the artwork up, and because you're in that tier, you get yourself a little bit of artwork, whether it be a little bit of wall art, might be a fridge magnet, might be a mug, might be a pen, depending on what we'll run that year in print.
Could be a T-shirt, you never know.
Could be a T-shirt.
Could be anything. Could be a mug, could be anything.
But you'll be the first ones to get that bit of art merch. So if you go to $8, you get read out on every show, you get the yearly art merch, plus you get the access to the Unglorious Chat. And if you want to know what Unglorious Chat is, it is a private little section in the Discord. Now, we're not keeping people away. These people are on every channel in the Discord, but it's just one little reward perk, little private chat area where the subs can go and have a chat. $10 is read out in every show, yearly art merch, access to the Unglorious Chat, plus you get a quarterly Zoom chat with a host. And same as what I said last week, these are basically just a Zoom meeting. If you've got a phone and some earbuds, you can join in. And I know some people are shy, and we always say, don't be a lonely gamer. Come jump in with us. It's good fun. All we do, we sit down. It's 9 times out of 10, it's a Saturday night. We have a chat. We talk about games. We show pickups. We talk about movies. We talk about anything. We just nerd out with things we've been enjoying. Sometimes we get quite a few of us on there, and it's just a good way to just, chat about anything that has been interesting you at the time. And yeah, it's something different, and we got to say we do them quarterly. I think our last one, off the top of my head, was probably the end of November. So we're probably due one, March time, end of February, March time, which I will release the stats to that on the Unglorious Chat so that people can all jump on. But yeah, if that interests you and you fancy subscribing, there are tiers list, and that'll be on the bottom of our show notes. Now, over to our brilliant subscribers, and we will start with, this is who I had to apologise to at the start of the show, because I did miss his name off, which is my fault entirely. I could have really blamed George for that, because he's not here to defend himself, but no, I've done the big boy thing and took the blame myself, because it was my fault. So anyway, we have Cenox. Thank you very much again.
Thank you, Sinox. And while RGT is doing his 5 Hail Marys, I will give a shout out to the one and only Carlos. Now, is Carlos from the... Do I dare say it?
Do you dare say what?
Nothing.
Well, we also have to say, legally, unfortunately, that he's also the One Man George fan club. So
that's what I wasn't sure about, whether to say
it or not. Yeah, he is, yeah.
But if it's illegal, I don't want to go to prison, so...
Bless him, but once he gets better, he probably won't be the One Man George Club, whatever it was. But anyway, next we have Firm Returns. Thank you, my man.
And we have Trestles New York. Thank you to you, sir.
And then we have the wonderful Bada Bing Star.
And then we have got Tingle Tuna.
Then we've got the awesome Digital Monkey. Thank you so much for all you do, Tom. Thank you, everything.
And then we have Rose Space Monk. Big shout out to you. Thank you very much.
Then we've got the Gaming Graham. Awesome. Thank you, my man.
And the legendary Bald Balder.
Oh, yeah. And then we've got the Community Manager. the Discord manager, the guy you do not argue with because he has got guns on there that would crush your head. That is Boba.
And then we have got the legend. His whole house is in plastic. His game console's in plastic. He can't even open a tray to put a game in there. It is Sil Master Elliot.
Well, I'll jump on one that you might miss there because I know you didn't really want to read it out, but I'm going to read it out anyway, you know. I'm going to read it anyway. It is the Essex Switch legend. It's Marathon Game.
I forgot I was on webcam then.
That's going on YouTube.
That's straight on there. There we go. You can pause it and find out if I've got an innie or an outie belly button. So that's interesting. Okay, and then we have got the champion, the Tekken champion, as well as the champion of the Challenge Accepted Discord for 2024. The reigning champ, the G, the I, the N, the G, the E. It's Ginge.
Oh, what a legend. Then we've got the awesome Harvey Retro.
And then we have got, she's so amazing, it's Emma Sharp.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Emma. And we've got, well, he isn't near this place. And the reason he isn't is because he's nowhere near it. And that place is Berlin. And do you know why? Because he's nowhere near Berlin. Thank you, Greg.
Please send us a postcard because we've got no idea how to write to you at the moment. So please can you do that? And then a big shout out to my side chick, Mumsy.
Then we've got the one, the only, the RGT fan club.
And then from Folklore to Pete Brocklehurst.
To Billy Marmite, love him or hate him.
And then we have got an absolute OG, Simon Pryke. Big shout out to Simon. Thank you very much, mate. Hope you're having a great week.
And unfortunately, this has been left on me this week, isn't it?
It's your turn.
So
got to pass the baton.
We are contractually obliged to say this next.
Hold on. Hold on, RGT. I'm just going to pass you the smelling salts. Take the lid off. Give it a sniff.
Yeah,
don't worry about the sausage shape that's in there. Just give it a sniff.
Okay.
And let it out.
Thank you.
I didn't know if you had it in you then.
No, I definitely had now. That's
surprised me.
Thank you very much. And they are our list of awesome subs.
Yeah, thank you to every single one of you. It's really, really kind of you.
And
you don't
I know
need
all
to,
channels,
but you do. So
podcasts,
thank you.
Yeah, all channels, all podcasts, they all say this, but it really, really does make a huge difference. So thank you guys very, very much. But leaves us then to go on to what are you hoping to play, Scott?
Well, I know I am going to be straight on Fall Guys because there is doing a little community night playing Fall Guys as well. So there might be some people listening to this thinking, I was on that. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
so,
good idea.
So I'll be playing a bit of Fall Guys and then see if I can get any more crowns to creep up on the leaderboard. Maybe win my first challenge accepted, perhaps. Ooh. I will definitely be going back on to Mafia Definitive Edition. But if I'm stuck with it, I'll have to move on. Now, I have checked out other games on the Games Pass. I tried out Super Lucky's Tower for a couple of minutes, Turnip Boy, a few other games on there. Now, the only games I really want to play on there next is probably the Yakuza games. But I'm not sure which one to start. I'll probably have to ask George. So before I do that, I might just roll over to the PlayStation 5, turn that in, put the HDMI in there, and just check what's on the PlayStation Plus Premium, because I have not been on there since November.
Yeah.
Or beginning December. So I don't know what's been added. It'd be cool to check that out.
Another good person to talk to is Rose Space Monk.
Rose Space Monk, if you're listening, please let me know.
He's been 1000G in every single Yakuza game. I know he's done a lot.
Oh yeah, of course he has. Yeah, of course he has.
Thousands of hours in these games. So he's a good one to talk about as well as George, because they're both huge Yakuza fans. So But in terms of Switch games, I don't think there's. I'll probably play a bit more Mario Party, to be honest. A bit more casual stuff, you know. Yeah.
Just enjoying the downtime of it and enjoying whatever game's on there. So that's probably a bit of me, really. That's probably what I'm going to be up to for the next 5 days or so. What about yourself, RGT? What are you hoping to play?
Definitely more Fall Guys as well. Love to get another crown as well, because I think at the moment there's me and you on one, and I think Rose Space Monk's on 2 crowns at the moment. He nearly got a hat trick in a row. So that'd be nice.
We can't have that.
We can't let him run away with that. So we'll get a few more of those on there, hopefully. Try and get Trine 5 finished if I can. It's a busy week, but I will definitely try. Maybe try and also just finish off Stanley Parable, get those last few trophies, get the platinum for that, and a bit more Borderlands PS3. I think forward the story on a bit more with that. Really enjoying that. That was brilliant. I managed to get the double pack they done in Last Level Games in Norwich. Great video game shop.
Yeah.
So I got that. I think. Yeah, I got them for a bargain price in there. So so I've been enjoying those, and just loving being on the PS3 again. I think at the moment. I mean,
nice, mate. Yeah,
I have got anyone who keep worrying about hidden gems. I've got another hidden gem lined up, but unfortunately, we haven't got a Georgie boy here to sing the theme tune. Write the theme tune.
Well, listen, I'm happy to sing it. Is it Farlap Horse Racing Challenge?
How did you know that?
Oh. RGT is like the Lone Ranger. I can't take it from George. That's all I can do.
Well, I'm going to save it till George is on here because I'll tell you why. Okay. It could be my greatest ever hidden gem.
Oh my God! Don't tease us with that at the end of the show. Put that at the start of the show.
Hopefully, hopefully it'll be on next week. I'll chuck it on next week's show. So I've been sitting on this one for a while, and even when we had the UCP meetup, a few of the guys were like, "Oh, what is it? What is it?" I said, "I'm not telling you, but it's for price, for game, for a physical copy, for how good the game is."
What platform? What platform? Leak us something.
I am not teasing nothing.
Come on,
not teasing nothing.
Oh, you're such a little sausage teaser. You really are.
So I'll leave you thinking about that one. But yes, that's pretty much what I'm going to play. I think that might be that. Scott,
that is excellent, my friend. I think very much enjoyed. Yeah, I enjoyed the little chat we've had. Enjoyed sharing the little news, rumours, gossips, some game releases.
Thank you for doing all that news. That was brilliant. It was good to see all those games coming out as well, because after a year where people saying there weren't many games released, if you do a little bit of digging, there's actually quite a few.
There is.
Yes, they don't have to have big AAA adverts to be a game coming out. So
hey, listen, at the Unofficial Controller podcast, we don't just pick up the first rock, turn it over, see nothing there, and give up. We will scour everything for you. Yeah. We'll check everything. High, low, space, Earth.
Exactly. And what else we always say is, it's nothing wrong with being given the unofficial controller, you know? It's what you do with it that counts. See you later, Scott.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.